Yeah, so I keep getting the question, why don't I just use a little bit of flash in my photos? Because I do a lot of editing, bringing up a lot of shadows, and a lot of people have commented on my posts now being like, hey, you know that you could save all that editing if you just used a flash. But my reasons, so one, I just don't like the way it looks. Really, that's the only reason. So to go into more specifics on that, any photo that I take, so when you have a subject that's in a shadow, you're still in, like, yeah, because there's no light hitting them, but you're still gonna have some like ambient light kind of bouncing into that shadow. And yeah, so I'm just like looking at a few of my photos right now, and what'll happen is, let's say you have like, this is your Boulder, and let's say your sun is coming from like up over here, and so then your climber's right here, but then a lot of times what'll happen is you'll have like a hill or something right here, and the light will actually kind of bounce off that hill and go into the shadow, and it'll make like another direction of light already go in there. And so a few times what I've thought about is, if the sun's over here, it's kind of bouncing this way and giving my subject like a shadow underneath them, but then out here it still looks like some sort of light is hitting them. I've been wondering if I could use a just like a really diffused flash of some sort to shoot into there, just like a really low power though. Mainly on photos when you don't have that hill or whatever to bounce the light back, and just to kind of give the subject some depth and actual shadows going on in them. But yeah, so like the main reason why I don't use it though, go a little bit more into it, is like I just said, if I did it, it would just be a really small amount of light, and that'd be a lot of equipment to lug around just to pop like that little tiny bit of light in there. Because once you actually shoot a bunch of light, what you're gonna do is you're gonna make another like hard shadow that just looks really unnatural, and you'll get that hard shadow kind of projecting the climber onto the wall. Like the climber shadow will show up on the wall, and it's like, yeah, you could diffuse that or whatever. Another solution, use like a main flash and then a fill flash and then another fill flash to kind of get everything going there. But you know, that's a lot of work for just that little tiny bit. And so mainly what I'll do is I'll use a reflector to then bounce that light in if I don't already have like that light somehow reflecting into my shot. And so yeah, pretty much it's just way too easy to, or nah, not even like too easy to overdo, but it's, I don't know, it's, you get the look of flash photography, and I just really don't like the look of flash photography on a large scale like that. Like I think it looks great in, if you're lighting like a portrait or something like that. I do have a few photos where, let's see, yeah, like in this photo right here. Can you guys see that? Maybe a little bit. Wait, one sec. I'm gonna do a little thing. Nerp, 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 nerp. Okay, so you can see in this photo right here, the direction of the sun is actually coming kind of this way. But then you can see on her back, there's light there, but there's not really much light in here. And so what that is yeah, there's a hill over here that's bouncing the light back into my photo. And wait, let's see. Okay, so that was the raw photo. And oh my gosh, I can't use a computer upside down apparently. Okay, raw photo and the final photo. And so yeah, like obviously the raw photo is super dark, but you can also see that I was able to bring back all of that detail that I was talking about in there. Like I didn't brush in all of that. That was just already there, and that's because I planned it to be that way, and I planned ahead for my edit And so why do you need a flash when you've already got the land working for you? And I think I'm pretty sure that I also used a reflector in that shot to get more light in there. Yeah, that's like the most I would use a flash anyways, and if I can already do that with a reflector, then I figure like, why would I need to lug around all of that gear? Yeah. So those are my thoughts on flashes. I would love to play around with them more one day. I really want to get like giant softbox and just make a whole shoot out of it. But for now, I'm going to stick with my reflectors and editing. And like even just to bring up those shadows took 5 minutes in Canva Raw and Photoshop. And so, yeah, I guess I just don't... it wouldn't be fixing any problems. It wouldn't necessarily be making things easier, because then, yeah, you'd get those deeper shadows, but like on too much of a scale. It would be nice though for those days when you don't have the sunlight to actually use a reflector to bounce off, but a lot of times when I'm shooting in a situation where I don't have that sunlight, there's usually clouds and stuff above me that are just kind of diffusing the light, and like, I guess if the clouds are too thick, it'll be really flat, but so that could be an interesting way to incorporate light into a photo that would otherwise be flat. So I definitely want to play around with that. But I don't know, I guess that's like the main reason. So if anyone's ever wondered, oh Jeff, why don't you just use a flash in your photos? Well, that is why. So I hope that helped. I hope that clears some things up, lessens the comments, but I'm doubting like very many people will look at this video, so we'll see how much this helps, but peace out. Later, guys.